Well, here we are.
We will do what we can.
I guess I'm supposed to look like a kitty cat?
I have no idea why I'm doing this.
So there was a hedgehog!
Such crap like that.
Oh, that's not right!
I might have forgotten.
I don't think I missed anything important.
What a weird day.
I don't understand what I just saw.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Pass the Plot. I'm Beth, and this is Chris. This is Brian.
Hi, how's it going?
We also have Calico,
Hi there, Internet.
Justin,
Hello.
and James.
Hello, everybody.
And this week we are going to be telling James's story, so let's see what happened.
This is gonna be fun.
I can't wait for
Now,
to see.
before I let everyone see all of the thumbnails for the videos, James, explain yourself.
What do you mean? By which part?
Uh-huh.
I
You
feel like
created something
I
that...
feel like when you see it, then you'll understand.
Alright,
Okay.
so...
Okay. Well, I got the idea for the story from thinking about the movie Airplane.
Oh dear.
For
Oh,
some
dear.
reason, at the same time after that, I started thinking about Home Alone.
What?
Specifically,
Okay, now I'm
See,
thinking some details may have been lost in translation. Let's
Or
just...
you might be making crap up, and I'm not quite sure is the problem.
I went last,
James.
I've got nothing.
So,
yeah.
let's jump right into James's story and see what happened.
Okay. Let's go.
This is what I had to deal with.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
that explains a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Right? You see what I dealt with?
Uh-huh.
The auburn dragon looms over you, smoke curling up from its nostrils, curling in and around the spikes and horns that adorn its head. You hear it speak. So, you want to hear a story, do ya? How about a story about love, action, and adventure? About a hero who thwarts the plans of an evil sorceress and wins the heart of the young damsel in distress. Well, too bad. Now, where was I? Oh yes, a story. A story. I suppose it should start as all stories start. Once upon a time. No, it won't start like that. It starts in the world of Grandover, in the Valley of Firs. There, in the lush turquoise brush, rooting around for grubs and worms was a hedgehog named Herbert. Suddenly, a golden sparkle caught his eye, a large golden ring. He waddled over and grasped the ring in his short, stubby fingers. He held a loop of gold up before him, and a melodious chord rang out. Da, 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 da.
Sure.
Herbert stared in awe and wonderment before shoving the ring into his mouth and gulping it down. But he swallowed more than he could chew, and he began to choke. Suddenly, there was the sound of a voice chanting, getting louder as it neared. Badger, 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 badger. Suddenly, a badger appeared from behind a burnt sienna brush, and he stopped. Seeing the hedgehog, he rushed over. He pulled out a royal blue pointed hat from the dark folds of the gray-blue robes that adorned his body. He plopped the pointed hat onto his head, placed his hand onto the hedgehog's stomach, and uttered the magic word, Heimlich! The ring came flying out of the hedgehog's mouth and flew onto the bush, leaving the hedgehog coughing in fits. There you go, Bob, said the badger before going on his way. My name's not Bob, the hedgehog gasped. Alas, the badger was gone, retreating from the hedgehog as the badger muttered its trance. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom! Suddenly, the badger pounced on top of a patch of violet and indigo spotted mushrooms. And what happened is what always happens when a creature pounces atop a patch of indigo and violet spotted mushrooms. But that's a story for another time, youngins.
So yeah, airplane.
I'm gonna cop to having lost some details in that. Also, it was about the point in time when the cat started licking itself that it suddenly occurred to me that I was watching a cat and not James.
Because they look so similar.
Suddenly I was seized
We are
with
twins.
terror as I looked around, trying to determine where any of my cats were, and like everything left my brain as I suddenly thought about the fact that I had to get a cat, and I couldn't, and I got up afterwards and I looked for a cat, and I couldn't find one because it was during the day and they were all scattered. So I did what I had to do, you guys, and I'm so sorry. I'm
Honestly,
so sorry.
No, honestly, I love what you did to this video because James, F you for copping out and going, I want to be in this digital show on the internet, and not even filming yourself, acting this out. You're like, I'm going to find a cat and do voiceover work.
Chris, I think the clear punishment here should be for the rest of this show, to replace James's portrait with the cat.
You know what? You know what? Thank you, Justin.
The cat was the story.
I
Clearly,
approve of this.
the cat was the one with the story.
James
That is
gets
true.
punished.
So what'd you guys think?
I feel like things are already explained significantly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that answered a lot of questions.
Yes.
I take credit / blame.
You guys ready?
Got some of those.
Next up is Calico.
Fuck you, James. Smoke curled around the dragon, the auburn dragons. Auburn dragons' horns and spikes. Smoke curled around the dragon. And he said, "So, you be looking to hear a story."
Pirate Dragon.
Well,
pirate
how
dragon.
about a story about a brave knight who defeated an evil sorceress and won the heart of a fair damsel in distress? Well, too bad! Instead, you're going to hear a story about a hedgehog.
I like that you lost me right there.
So there was a hedgehog!
And she's gone again.
Named Herbert! Herbert's the hedgehog! And the hedgehog was going around in the dirt like a hedgehog does. And he was rummaging around in the dirt and he found a gold coin. No, wait, not a coin. No, that's not right. He found a gold ring. And he looked at it and it was a precious ring. and a song came out from the ring and it went and it was a lovely song, but then Herbert accidentally inhaled the ring. And it caught in his throat and he started choking.
Great acting.
That was a combination of a fake and a real cough. Herbert was choking to death, but even though he was choking to death, he could still hear somebody saying as they approached, "Badger, badger, badger, badger." And suddenly a badger appeared. And the badger laid his little paws upon the hedgehog. And he gave him the Heimlich maneuver, and the ring came flying out the hedgehog's mouth and landed in a bush. And the hedgehog said, "Oh, thank you." And the badger said, "No problem. I'm going to be on my way now." And as he went, and he called the hedgehog Bob. He said, "No problem, Bob." And he left, and the hedgehog said, "My name's not Bob, it's Herbert." But the badger didn't care what his real name was. And the badger went and found some indigo and violet spotted mushrooms. And he lay down in the field. And the same thing happened whenever a badger lays in a field of indigo and violet spotted mushrooms. But that is a tale for another day.
Yeah, exactly what.
Yeah. So we've already lost that the badger was a wizard. That's gone.
Yep.
We lost a lot of the hedgehog details too.
There was something else blue.
I had lost it. That I just lost it halfway.
He was wearing blue robes and he had a hat.
I remembered that they were indigo and violet spotted mushrooms.
Oh, that was gone by the time it got to me.
So, James, I have to ask. I finally got it. So, is Herbert your OC Sonic character?
No.
Gold rings, the hedgehog, I didn't put it
Sonic
together.
was a very good inspiration for Herbert.
It's true. If you find this particular story funny, you might be our age.
So,
I love all you guys seeing the thumbnails.
Justin worked so hard on his makeup and said, "Shirt? Cats don't wear shirts. No shirts for this cat."
That's not wear shirt.
If I did
That is
that though,
true.
I'd get arrested.
Actually, I have a picture of a cat with a shirt on. So that's not true.
If you were zoomed in as close as I am in that shot, you would look the same right now. Not that you're wearing.
It's true.
Less hair though.
That's
Justin.
Unless I shaved it.
Yeah. Next up is Justin.
Smoke billowed around the auburn dragon's horns and head. "So," he said, ye be looking to hear a story, do ye? How about I tell you one of a brave knight who fights off the wicked enchantress to save the maiden who was under a spell? Well, too bad! You're going to hear the story of a hedgehog. Herbert the Hedgehog.
Oh my god, your hands.
One day, Herbert was lying around in the dirt and came upon a golden ring. And the golden ring made the most beautiful singing sound you have ever heard. When, oh. Well, when Herbert gasped in amazement, he accidentally swallowed the ring, and he was choking on the ring. And that's when he heard a sound coming up the road. It was going, badger, 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 badger. And then the badger popped in and gave Herbert the Heimlich maneuver. And Herbert said, "Oh, thank you." And the badger said, "No problem, Bob." And he started to go off. And the hedgehog said, "But my name's not Bob. It's Herbert." But the badger didn't care, and he went on his way. And then the badger laid down in a field of violet and indigo mushrooms. And of course, the same thing that always happens when a badger lies down in a field of violet and indigo mushrooms happened. But that's a story for another day.
Is it though?
That was pretty
I'm
much
hearing
what I said,
sequels.
so...
Next time we come around, are you going to make a story about a badger who dived into a field of indigo and violet or whatever the hell they were, mushrooms? Spotted mushrooms?
I noticed that the mushrooms are still blue or indigo and violet, so good on you.
We still have IV. Even though I personally believe that the I is a conspiracy. It's Roy G. Bv.
I heard they got rid of indigo. That's what I was told last night by people on the internet.
My favorite part of this is that you will notice that all three people, we all have the same ears. Exact
Yes.
same ears.
Yeah.
Feels like we all got them at the same place.
Yep.
Weird.
You know, I have those too. I was wearing them in my video. True story.
Sure you were.
Yeah, no, I told Justin because he was like, "Oh, cat ears," and I said mine weren't cat ears; they were wolf ears. So I put on that's why I put on the makeup to sell the fact that to trick people into thinking that they were cat ears. When they weren't.
That's deception. I don't approve.
Too bad.
I love everything about this thumbnail.
I love that.
So I know you said that we wouldn't be able to tell that it was blue paint, but it is a little Braveheart-ish.
I see.
Run!
down the road.
You may live for a while.
Oh man. Okay, so disclaimer. I was so distracted by the absurdity of everything going on that partway through listening to Justin's, I tuned out and was just like, what is happening here? This is absurd. And when I came back, I was like, oh no. Oh no, I wasn't listening. So, enjoy this. I don't understand what I just saw. It just didn't look like this, but just ready. Okay. All right, I've got that.
I like the on-screen transformation.
And
Movie magic.
Really getting like in the process here.
Sure. Anyways. Alright. I think I'm completely ready for this role now.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr.
Smoke billowed around the auburn dragon's head and horns. So, you've come to hear a tale, have you? Perhaps a story about a heroic knight rescuing a fair maiden from a wicked enchantress. Well, too bad! Instead, I'm going to tell you a story about a hedgehog. Herbert the Hedgehog. You see, Herbert loved gold coins, and one day as he was snoozing in his den, he heard... It was beautiful, and it called to him. So Herbert went out of his den, and he saw this magnificent ring. And then he ate the ring. And the ring was too big, and he began to choke. I don't know why he ate it, but okay. And as he's choking, along came a badger, and it was going badger, 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 and it came up and said, "Oh, do you need help?" Herbert replied, so the badger gave him the Heimlich maneuver, and Herbert said, "Oh, thank you," and the badger said, "No problem, Bob," and he ran off, and Herbert was left going, "But my name's not Bob." And then I tuned out admittedly and forgot some stuff, but Herbert laid down in a field of flowers and went to sleep. I don't think I missed anything important.
I'm sorry, that's where you tuned out? You made it that far before you're like, this is just too ridiculous for me.
So much has been explained by that. So much. That really helps me understand what I said.
Yeah, I got so like I was struggling really hard to hold that focus, and eventually it just left. And I got to the end, I'm like, I didn't know what I heard, and I was like, wait, I think there was something about a field. That's all I've got now.
Well, the shrooms are gone, guys.
So,
It's really interesting that both you and Calico decided to turn the rings into coins.
One of us corrected our mistake. I corrected mine pretty much immediately, and Christopher corrected his a little bit later in his story because he said coins at first, and then he said it was a ring.
Oh, I did say coin, didn't I?
You did. You did.
In my mind, I said ring because I knew it was. I knew what James was ripping off. I said the wrong thing.
Better of.
Yeah, same thing. Where like
Take your nerd credit if you didn't.
Like the word coin came out, and then immediately I was like, nope, that's wrong.
I didn't realize I said the wrong thing.
So we went from a Sonic game to a Mario Sonic crossover. Great.
I think it's some kind of family thing where you're like, ring, coin.
Yeah, it's all currency.
Yeah, that common currency rings.
Yes.
It's common currency.
I always pay for my groceries with ruby rings and golden rings, don't you?
Yeah.
The cashiers at theater builders hate me for it.
I want to try that sometime. Nah, never mind.
But yeah, I was like, this is so ridiculous. I need to do my transformation on screen.
And
I didn't know that people hadn't, so.
Yep. And thus a trend was set.
Excellent.
Oh, I love it.
Excellent.
All right. Next up is Brian.
Yes.
Huzzah.
Which, he looks so dapper. Like, this is a dapper little bunny kitty.
I decided.
Because he's got the hand like
It's a very statesman look going on here.
Yeah.
It does make me think he should break out into a show tune a little bit.
We'll see what happens.
He's got like the hand on his chest, like it's almost like a clutching the pearls moment.
Yep.
Like so shocked by what he's just heard.
All right. Here's Brian.
Well, we're doing this live, so let's see how that happens. So I got to do something first, and I'm have to kind of cobble things together here. Okay, so let's see. I don't have that many resources here, but we will do what we can. Okay.
I love it.
It actually came out great.
I have no idea why I'm doing this.
It didn't occur to me to wonder how you got
same time,
cat ears.
In the spirit of the thing, I guess I'm supposed to be cat-like. And
awesome.
This is what I got.
I was very confused why
when I do stage stuff,
cat
I have to sometimes
and dragon
do some hair. So hopefully this doesn't like hurt me. This is mascara, so.
Why do you have mascara?
It's weird because it's not. I needed to comb my. I need to look old, so they wanted me to put extra mascara in my eyebrows, make it look like heavier and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay.
And we had to buy our own makeup that particular show, so thus.
Gotcha.
This is just 45 minutes of makeup and no story.
Like 5 seconds of story.
I am not fat.
What to do is you're gonna take your New York eyeliner.
Oh, it's a makeup tutorial now.
And
all right, cross genres, guys.
Yeah, we're a beauty vlog now.
Oh, it's still going. Okay. Gotta get the highlights.
Okay, now that I'm like this,
lowlights.
Apparently I can begin the story, which I might have forgotten in
Brian
the
was
process of
replaced by
doing
a
all
cat.
this stuff, but whatever. There was once an auburn dragon coated in fire and brimstone, and he begins to tell a story. So, he says, do you want to hear a story about a brave knight saving a beautiful young maiden from a evil enchantress? Well, too bad. Instead, you'll be hearing this story. So, once there was a hedgehog. His name was Herbert. And Herbert loved gold. I think he might have loved gold coins, but at least he loved gold too. And one day, as he was hiding in his den, ostensibly underground,
he's hiding now?
He heard this sound outside, like, some such crap like that. There was a beautiful gold ring And he wanted that gold ring so much that for some reason he decided to eat it. So he picked up the ring and put it in his mouth and tried to eat it, but it was too large, and he began to choke. Conveniently around this time, a badger started walking by, apparently going badger, 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 badger.
As badgers do.
And he came across Herbert, who was in the process of choking. The badger said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need help?" And Herbert replied, and so the badger, knowing his first aid, decides to go around and give Herbert the Heimlich maneuver. After a few, he saves his life. The gold coin comes back out, and the Herbert says to the badger, "Thank you very much. I could have died." And the badger replies, "No problem, Bob," and walks off. And Herbert is left with a question, "But my name was Herbert, not Bob." And there might have been some other stuff in there, but I think that might have been from later, but I think I got the parts that were told to me, so... And now I have to wash this off, so thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh man, he didn't even remember the field.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Don't worry, I gave it the sort of an ending.
I love how after he swallowed it and spit it back out, it became a coin again.
Yeah.
I know.
Magic.
He was a wizard. It was a wizard badger, so you never know.
So
That's true.
So what I liked was, I'm pretty sure in James's original, he did eat it and choked.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then it turned into inhaled, and then I accidentally put it back to ate it.
Yeah,
So-
I'm pretty sure I'm the one that changed it to inhaled, actually. I think I completely forgot it was eaten. I think I had to inhale it. I did notice that it changed back
Yeah.
to...
And Brian, of course, also forgot something and added that part in just at the same part that I did, but he actually did forget something else also, so...
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, with that little left, I still forgot stuff. So,
And
All right.
So there was a
Last
hedgehog.
one.
The end.
going last was great, you guys. It was amazing.
let's just enjoy this real quick. Aww.
Deep in thought.
What, you
That's
put that
cute.
over your headphones? Wow.
Yes.
I love it!
That's pretty awesome.
That's super stretched out. I love it.
I just realized Beth is wearing them right now.
Yes.
Oh, we did a bit. I wore them during my telling, and she put them on for hers.
Wow, I'm not paying attention.
I didn't notice that at all.
I mean, she put on like 30 seconds
Yeah.
ago.
They live
Oh, okay.
like 2
Yeah,
feet away from us
they-
in Toy Man.
Last one, Beth.
Well, here we are. Apparently I need this. Yep. And then,
Wow,
Oh, actually
detail.
making it straight. Yeah.
Not just a dot.
Ooh, Nix. That's a good brand.
Alright, so
This channel's
got
not
this
sponsored.
going on.
We spare no expense.
So,
We're beauty bloggers now.
let's begin. Would you like to hear a story told by an auburn dragon about a handsome, valiant knight that saves a damsel in distress? Too bad. You get this story instead. Once, there was a hedgehog named Herbert. And Herbert loved gold. Loved gold. More than anything else, he loved gold. And he lived in a burrow underground because that's what hedgehogs do. That's where they live. And one day, as Herbert the Hedgehog was in his lair under the ground, he heard angelic singing. Ah, ah, and so on and so forth, you know. And so he goes up. And lo and behold, before him, at the entrance to his burrow, is a beautiful golden ring that sings, apparently. Wow, this ring is amazing. I love this ring so much. that I must consume it. And so he decides to truly be one with this ring, he must eat the ring. And so he eats the ring. Except... Is that a joke? And so as he's sitting there, choking outside of his burrow, a badger happens to come along. And apparently when badgers walk, they say badger, 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 badger. So he's just badgering along, and he sees Herbert. Do you need help? The badger comes over to Herbert, and he gives him the Heimlich maneuver. And the ring shoots out. And Herbert the Hedgehog is saved. And Herbert the Hedgehog says, "Oh, thank you so much. You saved my life." And the badger goes, "No prob, bub." And goes on his way. No thanks required. When you're a life-saving badger that knows first aid. And Herbert the Hedgehog says, "Wait a minute. My name's not Bob. It's Herbert. What a weird day." And I guess he takes his gold ring and goes back down to his lair, and that's it.
Bravo! I love it.
Bravo! That was amazing. I love that.
That was good.
That was so good. And she corrected Brian's comment that where he said this was a coin. She put it back to ring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I heard was ring. I added a little bit of flavor because I couldn't determine why one would eat a ring.
Yeah.
And then I added a little bit of an ending since there wasn't really one by the time it got to me.
Well, thank me and Brian for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's already a lot lost there.
I'm actually really glad because I was worried that the same story would just be passed on from everybody.
It was really the fact that, like, I suddenly realized I was looking at a cat that made me, like, lose my mind. And
How did you not realize you were not looking at James?
I told you I look at a lot of cats, okay?
Like, look at James right now.
Alright.
And then that's a cat.
Alright.
That's a cat.
I get it. Yeah.
That's true.
That's James.
Alright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Practically
to be
looking in
fair,
the mirror.
James, did you think we were all just gonna film our pets, or did you think we were going to make up ourselves into cats? I'm curious how.
What was your intent? Yeah.
I kind of thought, I don't know, my intent was just to film my cat being himself and you guys would just film yourselves. I didn't think you guys would put a costume or anything.
You also want to make a quick first aid note. In real life, you don't generally give the Heimlich maneuver to people who can still cough and make noises because their airway is not fully clogged, and the Heimlich maneuver is not actually going to do much for them.
In my story, it was a spell that did.
That's true.
It's true.
Yep.
It was a spell just called Heimlich.
And the spell just didn't make it.
Lost all the magical elements.
All the fantasy elements that made it a fantasy story were gone.
Listen, there was suddenly a cat licking itself, and all I heard was Heimlich. That stuck, and
there were a lot of colors too that I never heard. Like, wow, what a beautiful, colorful world. James threw an alliteration in. I don't know if you guys caught that in the.
Who had the blue robe? Was that the hedgehog or the badger?
He had a gray robe and a hat.
He had a blue robe and a fancy hat.
Yeah.
He casts the spell Heimlich.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's basically the same.
It did kind of make me wonder, is like, does this world have a Germany and like a Dr. Heimlich or anything?
All right.
Sarah.
Should we finish this out and see where we started from again?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Yes. One more time.
All right.
The Auburn dragon looms over you, smoke curling up from its nostrils, curling in and around the spikes and horns that adorn its head.
Sure.
You hear it speak. So, you want to hear a story, do ya? How about a story about love, action, and adventure?
You lost
About
love, action,
a hero
adventure.
who thwarts the plans of an evil sorceress and wins the heart of the young damsel in distress. Well, too bad.
That was a sorceress
Now,
at first.
where was I?
Yep.
I
Oh
didn't have
yes, a
sorceress.
story.
I dropped
A
her.
story. I suppose it should start as all stories start. Once upon a time. No, it won't start like that. It starts in the world of Grandover, in the Valley of Furs. There, in the lush turquoise brush,
The Valley of
rooting
Furs,
around for grubs and worms was a hedgehog named Herbert. Suddenly, a golden sparkle caught his eye, a large golden ring. He waddled over and grasped the ring in his short, stubby fingers. He held a loop of gold up before him, and a melodious chord rang out. It
was pure Gint, by the way.
Herbert
so there you
stared
go.
in awe and wonderment before shoving the ring into his mouth and gulping it down. But he swallowed more than he could chew, and he began to choke. Suddenly, there was the sound of a voice chanting, getting louder as it neared. Badger, 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 badger. Suddenly, a badger appeared from behind a birdsienna bush, and he stopped. Seeing the hedgehog, he rushed over. He pulled out a royal blue pointed hat from the dark folds of the gray blue robes that adorned his body. He plopped the pointed hat onto his head, placed his hand onto the hedgehog's stomach, and uttered the magic word, Heimlich! The ring came flying out of the hedgehog's mouth and flew onto the bush, leaving the hedgehog coughing in fits. There you go, Bob, said the badger before going on his way. My name's not Bob, the hedgehog gasped. Alas, the badger was gone, retreating from the hedgehog as the badger muttered its trance. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom! Suddenly, the badger pounced on top of a patch of violet and indigo spotted mushrooms. And what happened is what always happens when a creature pounces atop a patch of indigo and violet spotted mushrooms. But that's a story for another time, youngins.
Yeah, that's exactly the story Beth told.
I'm actually mad that I forgot that the badger, I continued the badger, 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 and went to mushroom, mushroom when he left. I actually am sad that I forgot that part.
I forget if it was Beth or Calico who said it, but there were a lot of colors there. I didn't even notice the first time through.
I did.
But
I did.
Yeah, like burnt sienna, royal blue, not just normal blue.
Yeah. Gray rose, blue hat.
Gray blue robe.
And, yes, and gray blue robe, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think I got 3 of those because I got Auburn Dragon and I got the Violet and Indigo Mushroom. So I got color at the beginning.
Auburn Dragon survived to me.
Yeah.
And no colors in between.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to just say a red dragon because red was too easy.
Yeah, that's fair.
True.
That's fair. And I mean, let us remember that I did have a complete breakdown in the middle of mine.
and Chris just tuned out partway through his, so...
I just stared off into space and was like, oh, it's still going.
See, the
and I tuned out when Chris tuned out on his thing. It's like, and stuff happened. It's like, okay, we don't know what's happening next.
Yeah. To be fair, I think the best part about being last is that, one, what you're gonna get past is a hilarious dumpster fire already.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
So there's no pressure. It's like, I can't screw this up anymore. It's good. Whatever.
Yes, you did.
And I did.
I do like... I think everybody did try to do a voice at least.
Yeah. I had fun with that.
I really did like this one as a whole, I gotta say.
It was ridiculous, but it was so much fun. I liked doing makeup. I liked having a character to actually portray. Yeah. And let's hear it for the cat that actually stayed still for the entire time we were recording.
I actually thought about that too when I was watching it. I was like, oh, I hope the cat doesn't leave. That'd make me really upset. Oh,
if you guys had watched the 4-minute video, he cleaned himself the entire time.
So do you want to sign us off?
Goodbye.
Well, that's all.
I'm kidding. Thanks everyone for watching another fun-filled episode of Pass the Plot. Once again, I am Beth. This is Chris.
Hey.
That one over there is Brian.
Have a good evening.
Once again, Calico.
Fare thee well.
Justin.
Meow.
And our lovely storyteller for this evening, James.
My name's not Bob.
Very true.
That's
Join us
accurate.
again next time for another story.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.